Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be going over 10 vehicles that I absolutely cannot stand in Grand Theft Auto Online. A lot of these vehicles are vehicles that I have driven over the past couple of years of being on YouTube. Vehicles that I feel like are particularly terrible and that there could be something else in their place, or the people that use these particular vehicles are absolute menaces and I do not like them, or the community surrounding a particular vehicle is extremely annoying. So anyways, let's not waste any time, let's go ahead and get into it, starting off with number 10. Now at number 10 we have the Coil Raiden. Now the Coil Raiden is a car that I hate simply because it exists. This car absolutely sucks. It goes for $1,375,000, which honestly is not a terribly, overpriced figure for the vehicle. However, the Coil Raiden is just another terrible handling electric vehicle in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, if you guys know anything about the electric vehicles in GTA, they all handle absolutely terribly. They all have super bad understeer, or they have super bad oversteer. It's one or the other, and some of them actually manage to have both, and I'm not really sure how that's happened, but the Coil Raiden is one of those cars that it has managed to have both understeer and oversteer, and very severe cases of both. As you guys can see by me driving here, yeah, I understand that you have to brake for corners, don't get me wrong at all, but I'm going into these corners at what I feel like is a reasonable speed for a $1,375,000 sports car to, do, and it just flies into the barrier or flies into another car or understeers all the way into a pole. It's absolutely awful. The Raiden's it's a 4-seater and the acceleration is really good. The top speed of course is going to be piss weak because it's electric. Obviously that's a given, everybody's going to know that. But the handling on this vehicle and many other electric vehicles, particularly the 4-door ones, they're just absolutely awful cars to drive, and I definitely don't recommend them. I absolutely hate the Coil Raiden. That's all I have to say about it at number 10. Let's move on to number 9. At number 9, we have the Tundra Panther, coming in at $2,170,000. The Tundra Panther, I don't really have a super big problem with necessarily the performance of this car, I guess. More so that it's literally just a Fister Growler with a different body kit on it. It's just a Fister Growler. It just is. It's got the exact same body shape. It's got about the same proportions, and it has similar performance. It doesn't have that great of handling. The acceleration it's good. It's decent, and the top speed is alright as well. But the Fister Growler is literally just the Tundra Panther, and the Tundra Panther is literally just the Fister Growler. They both are so similar, and I feel like if I could choose to have the Fister Growler and then also the Tundra Panther or any other car, the last car I would choose is the Tundra Panther. It is a cool car. It's based off the Alpine A110 remake that came out in I think 2017, but it's just not a good car and it's very underwhelming, especially for the money. For $2.2 million, are you kidding me? This thing is terrible. It's like top 50, maybe actually outside of the top 50 fastest sports cars. It's not a good car, and for that much money, it's insane. That is 200 grand more than a Grotti Italia GTO, which is literally the #1 sports car in the entire game around a circuit. The Tundra Panther doesn't need to exist. I don't know. I don't have anything good to say about this car. I don't necessarily even hate this car, but I just hate that we got this instead of something else, So that's it for the Panther at number 9. Let's talk about number 8. At number 8, we have the Overflawed Entity MT. Now, the Entity MT goes for $2,355,000, which honestly I feel like is a pretty fair price for what you get. However, the Entity MT does have some issues, its main issue being the engine resistance that it has, which makes it shift really late and really slowly, and therefore it makes the car not very fast. For $2.3 million, this car should be very high up in the supercars category, I would like to think. It'd be nice to have an overflaw that was actually, competitive in the game for racing. But no, Rockstar copied the code from the Overflawed Entity XXR, the previous Overflawed Entity that we got into the game, which was broken at launch with engine resistance, and they just took the same code and put it onto this new car. And so it's got the same problem as the XXR that came out with the Nightclub DLC back in 2018. It's a joke. And then they went and put HSW on the car on the expanded and enhanced edition, which made the car actually go like it probably should have on every single platform. But even with the HSW upgrade, it's still not very good. It's still really slow, and it's not that fun to drive. The handling kind of sucks as well. Just for this amount of money, it's just not worth picking this thing up. And it's just, I wish that they did a good job with it. If they had literally just done a good job with it and done some actual original work instead of just copying the code from the XXR, it'd be a different story. But of course they didn't do that. So we're stuck with the MT, and it looks great, but the performance, well, it honestly sucks. So that's it for number 8. I'm just disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. You guys, you know that one. Let's talk about number 7. Number 7, we have the BF Surfer Custom. It goes for $442,500 all the way up to $590,000 on the high end if you don't have the trade price. This is the slowest piece of shit in the entire game. A literal bicycle accelerates harder than the BF Surfer Custom. In fact, I actually made a video about this. I made a video of the bicycle versus the Surfer Custom versus the Zirconium Journey 2, which I also hate that as well. You could sub in the Journey 2 here as well, and both of them I absolutely hate. But yeah, a literal bicycle accelerates harder than this, and the Zirconium for that matter. But I can already hear you guys screaming, all the BF Surfer Custom tards. HarmNone, it's not supposed to be fast, it's supposed to be a cool hippie van. I don't care. I don't care. It makes me so mad because I understand the context of having this in the Drug Wars DLC. I fully comprehend it. But when I think about it and I'm like, man, we could have had an Aventador SVJ, we could have had a Trackhawk, we could have had an updated Dubster or a G-Wagon, we could have had, you know, a new helicopter, we could have had a plane, we could have had anything but the BF Surfer Custom. And you want to know why it makes me so mad too? Is because we already have the BF Surfer. And the custom just makes the BF Surfer ridiculous. And that's fine, whatever, if that's your thing, but like, bro. Number 6, we have the Menacer. Now the Menacer goes for $1,775,000. And it's a little bit cheaper than the Insurgent Pickup Custom, a little bit more expensive than the Night Shark, and it's worse than both. To be completely honest, I just don't even know why the Menacer exists. It's just not as good as the Insurgent Pickup Custom or the Night Shark, and both of those are on either end of it, price-wise. It's got some like nice customization, but it kind of sucks as an off-road vehicle because it has absolutely no ground clearance as well. Like, this thing is so low to the ground. And no offense, but bro, the whole point of a military vehicle is to be able to, you know, traverse anything and be good at it. And the Insurgent does a great job of this. The Night Shark does almost as good of a job as the Insurgent. It's got a little less ground clearance, but it still works. Then you have the Menacer, and it's like the bumpers like scrape on everything. The bumpers scrape on a dirt road, like an actual road, not like going up a mountain. They scrape on a dirt road. It makes no sense. Now, yes, it does have the machine gun on the top. Yes, it does have the proximity mines that you can drop out of it. But like, who cares? Just buy an Insurgent Pickup Custom. It's like another 200 grand. Just spend the money on an Insurgent Pickup Custom. Don't buy a Menacer. This thing is just a joke, and it has less armor than both the Night Shark and the Insurgent. So it sucks. The Menacer sucks. Don't buy a Menacer. I don't like the Menacer. At number 5, we have the Fister Comet S2 coming in at $1,408,500, all the way up to $1,878,000. If you don't have the trade price. Now, I want to make this perfectly clear. I really like the Porsche 911 in real life, but the Fister Comet S2 is a joke. It just sucks. It just sucks. It used to be really fast in a straight line, but then Rockstar nerfed it. But the trade-off was that you had to have it stanced, and when it was stanced, it handled even worse than it normally does. And now they've taken away the speed, at least. So when it's stanced, it just handles terribly and isn't fast. And then when it's not stanced, it still handles terribly and it's still not fast. It's terrible. It sucks. It kind of handles similarly to how a 911 would handle, I feel like, if you were going 60 miles an hour faster than you were supposed to around corners. Like, the back end of this thing just spins out just all the time. It just, oh, sorry, oh, slipped again. Oh, wait, you hit a pole. Oh, and it just sucks because the Fister Comet S2 is such a cool car. It's so cool. You can make so many different builds with it. You can go for like a 911 Turbo S. You can go for like a 911 Carrera. You can go for a GT2 RS. You know, you can go crazy with this thing. But the handling just sucks, and it's not that fun to drive because it can't go around corners fast, and that's kind of half the point. It's got decent enough acceleration. The top speed is okay, but when you can't drive the car around a corner, what's really the point? And it's just a shame because I love the Fister Comet S2. It's just the handling is absolutely terrible, so I kind of have to hate it because it's not fun to drive. So yeah, that's it for the S2 on number 4. At number 4, we have the Declasse Vamos, the Vamos, or the Vamos, however you want to say it. It goes for $596,000, and it's actually been removed from the game. However, when I'm making this video, you can actually purchase it at Simeon's, but I would tell you, please don't. Whoever designed the Vamos needs to be shot. It's got a lot of advanced handling flags, a lot of them. You could be driving this car in a straight line, and it feels like your front wheels are being like pulled off the ground, you know, and like the air underneath the car is just like pushing the front end and for the rear, just pushing the car up in the air slightly, so that like half of your maximum tire tread is like actually on the ground. And then if you go to turn, it's like your car's floating. Like it literally, I don't know how to describe the feeling of the Vamos. If you've driven one, you probably know what I'm talking about though. It's so loose. It feels like a car in real life where you turn the steering wheel and you have to turn it like 6 degrees in order to actually get the car to start turning. That's the Vamos, but it's like reversed. It's like you turn it like a little tiny bit, and then it turns way too much and just goes into a barrier. Like I don't know. It's horrible. It has bad handling on top of this. I will say the customization's great, and I actually like the look of the car a lot, but it's just not a good car to drive. It absolutely sucks to drive, and it's such a shame because I want to like this car. Like I said, I think it looks good. It's got some good customization, but it just sucks. It's just not a good car. And for $600K, like you can buy a much better car. For literally $3 grand more, you can buy a DUGG Spectre, and that car blows the Vamos out of the water, like in every possible way. So yeah, it's not good. It's not good. That's it for 4. On to number 3. Number 3, we have the Invade and Persuade tank. $2,275,000 for this gem. I love the Invade. No, I hate this thing. This is like a fan favorite of the try-hard losers of GTA Online. It is absolutely dreadful to play against somebody who's using one of these. I've had to do it a few times in online. I think there's even videos on my channel, like way old videos. No, I hate this tank so much. You spawn it through the interaction menu and it will leave your character right where they were, but you'll disappear and you'll go into the tank. Now, your kills with the Invade and Persuade tank, at least used to, I'm not sure if they still do or not. I haven't been able to test it because I just bought an Invade and Persuade tank literally for this video, even though I hate it. But your kills with the Invade and Persuade tank used to count on other players, but if a player destroyed your tank, it didn't count as a kill. And it's also really armored, at least it was. I think that this thing actually did get a nerf, if I'm not mistaken, but I still hate it because of what it used to be like, or maybe it still is, I don't really know. But it used to take like a few RPGs to take it out. Every kill that they got with the tank would count on you, but if you took out the tank, it didn't count on them because it didn't, like, technically the player wasn't inside it. And also it removes where your player was from the minimap too, and from like the actual game itself. Like you couldn't go and kill the player who's controlling the tank. It operates similarly to the Imani Tech remote control cars, and that's fine, but it's extremely annoying. It's insane. Like if you know what it's like to play against an Invade and Persuade tank, you know exactly what I'm talking about and the frustration that you will receive upon fighting one of these things, and mostly the people who operate them. I hate the people who operate these things. I digress. I don't want to talk about this thing all day. Invade and Persuade tank. Hate this vehicle. Hate it so much. On to number 2. Right here we have the Grotti X80 Proto. $2,700,000. Now the protards absolutely will defend this vehicle to the very end of their existence, and I don't know why for the life of me. I get that it's a futuristic looking car and that children think that's really cool. And maybe some adults do too. I know some of my older fans like the X80 Proto. You know, futuristic stuff, it can be cool. But the real problem that I have with the X80 is that this thing absolutely sucks. And for $2.7 million, it's one of the most expensive cars in the entire game, and it will get gapped by like half the supercars category. Now the real reason that I especially hate the X80 Proto is because the handling is terrible, and on top of this, the handling is also different based on what direction you're driving on the maps. Like if you're going north up the map and you turn left, you won't have downforce, but then if you're heading south, you don't have downforce in one of the, like, it's whoever designed this at Rockstar, I don't know how they messed this up so badly. It has an active rear spoiler though, and generally cars with active rear spoilers in GTA are just a recipe for disaster. Nothing good is going to come from those type of cars, except for like the Truffaut Nero. That's the only one that comes to mind that's not like absolutely dreadful. But the X80 is just, it's so bad. It has barely any customization as well. It's not that fast either. Like the acceleration kind of sucks. It is all-wheel drive, so it gets a good launch, but the top speed's not very good and the acceleration is not very good. The handling is awful. The handling is literally fundamentally broken. It is actually broken because if it reacts differently depending on the direction you're facing, I'm sorry, that is broken and it's never been fixed. So I have nothing good to say about the X80 Proto. I hate this thing. I know the X80 Proto tards are going to come for me, but you know what, that's fine, whatever. But at number 1, this was really going to piss a very small community off. Number 1, we have the LF22 Starling, coming in at $2,750,000 up to $3,657,000. I can already hear them. Can you hear them? I can hear them. They're screaming right now. These soy jacks are just screeching. Anytime I make a video about a plane in GTA, it doesn't matter what I'm saying about it. It doesn't matter if I'm saying that it's the Alkonost, say. The Alkonost is an okay plane, guaranteed in every single comment section on a video about a plane. These nerds will come in and be like, well, actually, the LF22 Starling is better. It's a better dogfighter, bro. I understand that it's a good dogfighter, but I'm literally talking about the Alkonost right now. Like I'm saying it's kind of fun to fly. Bro, a Starling would kill that thing, bro. A Starling, the turning radius on the Starling, bro, it's so good. It's so good, bro. And it's got the rocket booster, bro, and it's got these machine guns, bro, and it doesn't have anything interesting about it, bro, but it's so good, and it will literally destroy anything in a dogfight. They're especially prevalent when you're talking about a plane that you actually like and that's actually pretty good in GTA. They will always say, no, the Starling's better. Starling, like, I don't understand the issue. I get if you like a plane in GTA. I get if you like a car in GTA, but the Starling community are the worst human beings next to tryhards. They're equally awful to deal with and to interact with. Both of them are just equally terrible. I'm sorry. If you love the Starling, that's fine. And if you're quiet about the Starling, I don't care. You're cool. You're cool with me. But it's the nerdy Starling guys that are just awful, and by proxy, I absolutely hate the LF22 Starling. It's got a rocket boost, which it lasts quite a while, and it is actually pretty interesting to fly, but the plane kind of operates like a glider, and I don't really enjoy flying it. I don't think it's particularly fun to have to manage my, speed in the air and make sure that my rocket booster is going to be charged up in a second. I like to fly, the Raiju, where it's like thrusters on and it stays on, and you fly through the sky and you don't have to wait for the rocket booster to boot up. Oh, so like explosive cannons, not dinky machine guns. I understand that they do a decent amount of damage, but explosive cannons are cooler and better and, simple. But yeah, I hate the Starling. I especially hate the Starling community, but the Starling is definitely getting a bit of hatred from me as well now because this thing, no. Anyway, guys. There you go. Those are 10 vehicles I hate in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys want to see a part 2 to this video, let me know in the comments down below. I have a feeling that a lot of people are actually going to enjoy my takes on this. I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to absolutely despise me. I'm going to get a lot of unsubs when this video drops. But I think that a lot of people are going to like it. So please let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you want me to do some more of these videos, because I hate a lot of cars in this game, to be completely honest. I hate many cars in this game. But yeah, guys, leave a like, comment down below. Let me know if you want to see another one of these. Dislike if you didn't enjoy the video, or you love the Starling or the X80 Proto or the Invade and Persuade tank, or if you're a BF Surfer Custom guy, then you feel free to leave a dislike. I don't think anybody else is really going to disagree with much that I have to say. Maybe some Vamos guys, they'll probably disagree, but yeah. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Hey, yikes.